What is this plan B? I told UPND, I told you guys, wake up. UPND, wake up. Next year's election will not be easy. There is plan B. I've received the file. I have the file. In fact, I was part of the plan B. I have it. I'm going to show you now. Anywhere you are going to know what this plan B is. I told UPND, be serious. Wake up, wake up, wake up and do politics. They refuse. This plan B, I'm telling you, will remove HH next year. I want to show you what this plan B is. Follow me. Just follow me. Follow me. Follow me. You will see what plan B is. What is this plan B? I told you, PND. I said, stop joking. These guys are serious. They refuse. These guys are serious. They refuse. They will remove us from government. They refuse. The plan B is there. Just follow me there. Hey, get inside. Come on. What is plan B? The almighty plan B. What is this plan B? They think or they thought that we will not know. We know. Come and see plan B. What is plan B?
Oh my God, the suspense. What's the plan B?
I love the showmanship. I love the showmanship.
He's now thinking it's a Nigerian movie. The showmanship is so crazy. The suspense, so dramatic.
Yeah, it's very dramatic.
Oh.
He's tired. Plan B is sleeping. Plan B. You are the person you are waiting for. Plan B. It's like this in South Africa. You are in Zambia killing yourself. Plan B is sleeping. That is the plan B. Apart from sleeping and snoring, there is no plan B. Those of you that are wasting your time, plan B. Election is next year. You don't have a candidate. Even if Jesus, it took him 30 years to achieve his plan on earth, how can it take you 1 year to win an election? Not even a councillorship election, local government election. We are talking about a whole national election. You don't have a candidate. Followers of Edgar Lungu, wake up. Edgar Lungu is not leading you to any place. The same way he killed PF, killed Oka, it's the same way he will kill Tonse. That is the plan B.
Very dramatic indeed. Very dramatic indeed. I was expecting to see a very, very well put together type of analysis from the file, but obviously in a true Nigerian style, everything has to be dramatic. Anyhow, big shout out to everybody watching us right now. We are having 123 live viewers, which is absolutely amazing. So all I'm asking for you to do right now is share this video, because we are about to decipher and talk about a lot of things. First of all, rest in peace, Edith Nawakwi. Very brilliant, gallant woman. There's a lot to talk about here, but I just wanted to, offer my sincere condolences to Edith Nawakwi's family. May her soul rest in peace. On the other hand, Munir Zulu has been sentenced. Emmanuel J.J. Banda, as we speak, is absolutely live on Facebook for the first time. So, my question to you, should we react to Emmanuel J.J.'s Banda live video right now? Siku, what do you think? Because it really looks like a very steamy evening today because there's a lot to talk about. Siku, how are you doing? Good evening.
I am doing very well, and except from the unfortunate information or the news, a dark cloud on Zambia's skies. We've lost a gallant woman, and everybody's mourning, and there's just it's something that just came in as a shock, but definitely the world moves on, the tires keep rolling, and we do continue talking about what's affecting you, what's affecting me, and just ensuring that everybody's up to date with what is happening. Now, it is very interesting that Emmanuel JJ Banda is live, and I think this is something that that we should tap in, and it's very important that we do follow what's happening. His buddy, one of his close friends, Munir Zulu, has been sentenced to 12 months imprisonment, and definitely I know he has something to say about it, and this is something that's very interesting to follow.
All right, definitely. So let me just take 1 second and find the live feed of Emmanuel JJ Banda, because what can Emmanuel JJ Banda possibly talk about? Now, a lot of Zambian people have been anticipating his response to a lot of things for a very long period of time, but of course, the only thing that we got from him was silence. So now, does he have enough courage to address the Zambian people? And if he does address the Zambian people, what is he going to talk about? Number one, he's lost his seat. Munir Zulu has also will potentially lose his seat because after 90 days, right, in case he's not present as a member of parliament, right, that seat is going to be up for grabs. So now the question stands: who is next? What is the UPND getting at with regards to all these independent parliamentary seats? And will we witness a very strong transition with regards to the political atmosphere here in Zambia? So, Siku, take it away while I look for the live feed of Emmanuel JJ Banda, because we need to react to this type of information live. So, Siku, take it away.
Now, definitely a very interesting night and a lot to talk about. So, there's a lot of showmanship that's happening right now. We've seen the CR1 video, and this is something that we saw where it comes to Emmanuel JJ Banda. Now, a couple of months ago, he did go live on his Facebook page, telling the whole nation that the next day he's going to be live somewhere around 11 hours. So now what happened was, when he came back the next day and he came, his video was live and he was live streaming on Facebook, all he was doing was singing in that video. And the video was very poor quality, and everybody was speculating, where is Emmanuel JJ Banda? Is he taunting the police? Is he taunting the UPND? So now is a really good time for us to find out exactly what he has been up to. Is he lodging with Why Me, the popular Francis Kapwepwe? Do they have something that they are cooking up that is going to destabilize the UPND and just send shockwaves across the country? So we do have a lot to talk about, especially with the case that Munir Zulu has been sentenced. So he was sued by two individuals, that is Honorable Stumbeko Msokotwane, who is the finance minister, and we do have Charles Milupi. Charles Milupi as well did sue him because apparently Munir Zulu did give out some information which has turned out to be false information, and this is information that he could not approve in the courts of law. So there's a lot happening right now, and this was expected. Looking at Munir Zulu's social media presence, his posts, he did earlier go, I think yesterday he did go live, and he was talking about how other countries, or some other countries, are offering him asylum, and yet he refuses to take that asylum and remains a Zambian citizen. And he did say whatever comes to the courts of law, this is what will, at the end of the day, will be dealt with. So we've seen today's sentencing. We've seen today's judgment, 12 months. There was a video of his wife weeping, his family obviously in shock and disbelief that this is happening from such a very high potential individual, Munir Zulu, as a young parliamentarian. We had lots of expectations from him, and it's quite unfortunate that this is how the story might end for him. So there's a lot to tackle. Other people are talking about, no, Munir Zulu has immunity, he's an MP. Where is the immunity going? The UPND is dictatorship. So we're going to decipher where that immunity as a member of parliament comes in and just give out more information. I can see JJ Banda on the screen. Are we ready for that?
Yes, we are definitely ready. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are reacting to Emmanuel JJ Banda live. This is as far as live social media commentary is. This is how it is. And in case we make any mistakes, please let us know. But one thing that I would like to remind you to do is kindly share this video. I know you are seeing the effort that we are putting as far as giving you a very good show, a very informative, educative show. So all you have to do right now is share this video. Take 1 second of your life, share this video in a lot of groups that you belong to, at least minimum 5 groups that you belong to, so that we can get the numbers. I can see the numbers are pouring in, which is absolutely amazing. So we are watching Emmanuel J. Banda right now, and hopefully he's got some good stuff to talk to us about. So kindly share this video right now.
Briefly, today I'll just explain briefly before I start taking calls. And before I start doing what I've got.
So as you can see, right, he's got a lot of viewers. He's got about 10,000 live viewers, including us, which is absolutely amazing. I remember CR1 was the last person who had such an amazing turnaround, or rather such an amazing number of live viewers. So what does this mean? This means a lot of people are dying to find out exactly what is happening to Emmanuel JJ Banda. And this is one of the reasons why over 10,000 people are reacting and watching him right now. So does he have plausible reasons to give to the Zambian people with regards to his absentia? Where is he? All those questions need to be addressed. Hopefully he does a good job.
Debate, you can do this, you can do that, but one day it's one day. It was on the 25th May 2025. I was at home, and then I was invited as a guest of honor in the constituency to be the guest of honor on the marriage of Mr. Simukoko. And then I was a guest of honor. So I started off from home around 01, going to the constituency. As I was going, I reached Ibex, there where the junction is from to go to Ngombe. That's where I found people with more than 4 vehicles. They blocked me. When they blocked me, I decided to use the route going to Ngombe. There's a hump there going to Ngombe. As I was going to sorry. It's only that it's not Ngombe, it's Bowden. There, just when when you're in the, as you're approaching from Memorial Park.
Is he trying to explain the abduction incident that happened? Remember, there was an incident where his car was sort of, I don't know, there was some issue,
Yeah, they
and
found
this is
his
where
car.
all the trouble started from, isn't it?
Yes, probably that's where he's telling his side of the story, how that happened. And the next story was him being found at a farm. So I think that's what he's trying to talk about.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. So, big shout out to everybody watching us right now. We are reacting to Emmanuel JJ Banda. We've got almost 300 of you watching and reacting with us in real time. So, let me not talk much. Let's listen to him.
So now, as long you are getting what I'm saying. So I don't want to say no. I should use the local language. Wamene tina vitundu 72 so nikaizina chinyanja akine amverini kwasu kumambe amverini so tijaira chizungu chifupi so if you don't want to get then if you're not getting what I'm saying I don't know but I know you are going to get what I'm saying.
Perfect. Come on,
so
let's go.
May
Talk to
2024 on the 25th. Yes, I was invited as a guest of honor in the constituency for the wedding of Mr. Simukoko. So I started off around 01 from home in Livara South. So as I was going home, I was passing Ibex to my other house, going to the constituency. So when I reached, when I was in Twin Palm Road, when I reached there by the junction at the junction for Bowden, they blocked me. There are humps there, so they blocked me. Lucky enough, I managed to sweep the car to go to Bowden way. Then they blocked me again. From there, when they blocked me, they came with guns.
Who, how many cars, what type of car? We need the details.
They asked me to open the doors. I refused to open the doors. They were not in the mask or what. They just came like officers. Then I said, should I bash them or what? Then I said, no. Niwa kundhelini hapa. Lekani tuone mpaka nakapokola tukawakunda kama tu wapanga mlanda. So nilieva punge yai niembekeza na vala mawindo mula ningala niswavochika nichite chinji. First waone wewera nikaru kamba mamle mlotini wane mafoni ni ambotuma mafoni. That's how they managed to smash the screen, the window screen, the front window screen. They smashed it. When they smashed it, then I was forced now to say, no, I'm sure they will kill me. I'm sure these are not officers. These are criminals. That's now I opened the door. Then I surrendered myself. When I surrendered myself,
one thing that we must also, one thing that he has to agree to is that the area that he's talking about is a very dangerous area when you are driving at night. I think that's very important to note.
Oh, okay. Understood.
He picked a paper from my car in the glove compartment. In that glove compartment, which they...
Okay, it seems the network is having some issues right now. I don't know whether it's from his end or our end.
In my car, they asked me now to write a letter asking me to ask for forgiveness to the nation. Which I said, Nusualini Kulemba. They said, no, you are going to write. Until they forced me, until I started writing that note, which was circulated. I'm sure everyone saw the note. That note was written by me by force on a gunpoint. To say, can you write this? English is not a problem. We are getting you honor. Don't mind them. Yeah, thanks a lot. Especially us. We are from Better UK and we speak short English, so no problem. Yeah. So after finishing writing the note, They got me. They bundled me into a boot of a Toyota. I think it was like a saloon. Mongani taxi, something like that. They bundled me in the boot. Then from there, that was the end. Then we moved for the good, should be 3 to 4 hours. I think 3 to 4 hours because it was a long journey. And then when we reached to the place was in a building. They reversed the vehicle. Then they offloaded me inside that building. Then in that building we entered. We entered first gate. They opened second gate, third gate. That's where they bundled me. It was dark. You can't see anything. Even if someone is standing behind me, you can't see that person. You can't. Mungamone lini orwapana makuvuli huko. Mungamone lini njemwenze nika. Mula lomba, talova mula. When we entered, they left me there. They went. Then after, I think, for 24 hours, after 24 hours maybe, that's when they came. Not after 24 hours midnight, no. My hours 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 24 my hours, that's when they came back. They started now torturing me. But everything, whatever they were asking, I said, I don't know. They ended up getting a pliers, squeezing my tongue with the pliers, squeezing it to say I should say. But I said, I can't implicate some people, the things I don't know. If it's killing, let them take my life. They tried all sort of torture. When I say all sort of torture, it's bad. Some other things I don't want even to remember them. I know you are hearing even Sodom. No, they've been sodomizing. All those were there in that torture. That's why I didn't wait for operation for things which I never.
Sorry.
No, like I'm just reacting to his statements. Does he mean he was sodomized? He talked about 3 gets in one building. At this particular juncture, the story is it's like a movie we're watching right now.
Yeah, definitely. And this is one of the reasons why specifics are very, very important. And I really believe he had enough time to compose himself with regards to how he was going to break down the whole narration. And this could potentially be used in the court of laws. So obviously, he should be very careful with each and every word that he utters, because if indeed he does return to Zambia, right, people are going to be using this as evidence. So it's very important for him to be very precise, accurate, and specific.
Yeah, and not only that, he is also implicating a lot of people. Now, remember, before he did escape and go wherever he is hiding to, he was found and he was treated at should have been Minor Soko Hospital, and there's a record of the injuries that he had back then. So now, from what he's saying, I don't think I heard any sort of those injuries, his tongue being tortured, him being sodomized. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Because there could have been hospital records, those could have been indicated and it would have been reported. But again, we're just here listening to the story as he tells it.
Because it wasn't in your shoes. Even right now, you are saying this because it's not in your shoes. Then from there, I'll cut the story short. I'll summarize it. From there, that's when they said to say, no, this one, I'm sure you are not ready to do what we want. So now what we are going to do, chati tichite romba, wewe uwe chakulia cha mwena, tukiokutaa manzi, we are going to throw you in the river. So we'll come for you later. Then they left. After some time they came now. They abandoned me again in the boat. As we were going, when they wanted to go and throw me in the river, that's when now I heard their voices. When we reached to the same river, they said to say, here, they're policemen, so we can't go ahead there. These and then the manner which our bosses have given us, it's very little. We can't commit this crime. They turned the vehicle. They said, let's go and just throw this person. He's already dead. He's already dead. That's when we moved now in a gravel. That's when now that's now they left me where I was discovered there. That's how they left me where I was discovered now there. From there, I managed now to give the number to those people at the farm. They communicated with my relatives, and the police came. And my relatives too came there. They got me from there. We went to the hospital, a district hospital. To that district hospital, when we reached there, they attended me. They started attending to me, but they found that the beatings and the torture, it was worse. They couldn't handle. They said, "We'll refer you to UTH, or we'll refer you to UTH or to the hospital which they can afford," meaning which my relative can afford. Then from there we were given the medical and everything and the ambulance, but my relative said, no, we'll use our personal vehicle. That's now I was evacuated from there to Midrand Hospital. Midrand Hospital, when we reached Petifuika kula to Midrand Hospital, weyamba kunisebenzelapo. Weyamba kunisebenzelapo a minister Jack Mwimbu came with more than 200 policemen. Luckily, my relatives were very close to me. And one of the police officer, who was a woman, had an injection. And thank God, the people who were around, they were quickly to see that injection with that officer. They asked that officer to say, this injection, what is the disease? Why are you want to inject him? But from there now, that's how now they abducted me to take me ku Entwala Lomba ku Mainasoko. And depending on ku Mainasoko, aliyevomeresha muntali wonse, even wachi Bluru, kuti Kalepo. Friends, everyone was denied access. No one had access to see me. No one had access to see me. Only them, because they wanted to cover up something. From there, we stayed for some weeks. I'm sure you remember now. From there, we stayed for some weeks. And then they, after now getting a little bit better, they tried first to say, no, he's mad. No, let's bring the psychiatric doctor to check. The psychiatric doctor, all of them from Mainasoko, from Chainama, they had to do all the examination. What they found is that it was stress. There was too much stress. I was okay. I wasn't mad. And I don't know why they were pushing so hard to say, let's get the psychiatric doctor. Maybe this one is a psychiatric patient. Where? Where? And the human rights were there, just watching. And some of them, they even know our constitution. Me as a public figure, I had the right to which hospital to treat me, but they forced me. They're forcing her. They're forcing her. They're forcing her. Until everything they said, no. The stress levels are very high because of the trauma which he went through. Even the doctors confirmed. By that time, even my tongue, I wasn't eating anything. My tongue was swollen. Yeah, you can say so. You can say everything what you want. I know those press singers, I know you can say anything which you want. You can call anything, no, this and this, but it's fine. As long the people, our people are getting. My relatives, those who are praying, from there, they said, okay, we are going to discharge him. So that that's a recommendation from the doctor. We are going to discharge him because these stresses here, keeping him here, they'll be going high. So that's how now they discharged me to say, I should go and live home whereby I can be with the children, my friends, so that those stress
Is it our internet or his internet has really cut off?
coming back to normal without stress levels being high. They said, no, let's go, you give us the statement so that we can arrest the people who abducted you. So we went to the police, we went around to force headquarters. Then we went around, that was around 10 hours when I was discharged. Then we reached there, I gave statement. They said, we want even the wives. So me, I gave the statement. After giving the statement, from 10 hours to 8 to 17, they kept us there. Then after, when I finished the statement, to explain everything, they said now to say, okay, wait, since these people you have mentioned.
So yeah, he must be having network issues because his feed keeps on
which you saw these
disappearing.
3 people. They are known people, and there is no parade. That was now Mr. Timber, the director. He said there is no need of what, so let me go and inform the IG. The IG should inform the president, we see the way forward, how we are going to arrest these people you have mentioned by the name of Hamasaka, Levingoma, and Mwinde. Trevor Mwinde, Hamasaka, and Levingoma, my brother. So Mr. Timber, the director, said, let me go and inform the IG and the president. When he came back after an hour, the story changed now to say, Honorable, in 2014, you committed an offense of aggravated robbery, attempted murder, and assault in 2014. Then I told my lawyer to say, these cases which they're saying, it already went into court. And I was already punished by the court. Because me as a leader, I'll always take responsibility. Whatever transpired in 2014, yes, because I was the leader, I was the one who was with the youths there in Vubwi. And those people, they mentioned me because I'm the person who was there. I had to take responsibility. And I received the punishment. And there was no aggravated robbery. That was in 2014. Then my lawyer, Mr. Sakwira Scott, asked the director to say, how come after all these years you are coming today? You are coming today. And look, we have given you here, we have come on another matter. We haven't come for these other matters which you are bringing. They said, no, these are the instructions that we arrest you. They arrested me, but I wasn't okay. Again, I went back to Minasoko. From Minasoko there, they sent people. They sent people so that we can to say we drop everything, we drop this, so that we can move. They called my relatives, and the chief, who is my father, our chief. Then they went, they talked, they said, okay, no problem. Us, what we want is our son. We want him. We want him so that he'll be okay. So no problem. And I'm sure you heard even some of the discussions which they came to negotiate. But there were things now which they wanted now to say, this negotiation, it can only go when you do this. But my relatives, our chief, they said, no, our son can't do that. If it's to kill him, then kill him so that we know to say it's you who have killed him. He can't now start twisting things to start implicating people who were not there. That's how that negotiation, that was the end now of negotiation. They said, no, we'll go. In fact, Honorable Tao Kawana, he's the one who said, okay, you, the chief, if you're not talking to him, we'll go for his head. Honorable Tawana said those words. Then the chief said, okay, if you want to go for his head, you go ahead. But the God, the chief said those words to say, you can go ahead, but the God, we pray, he will be arrived. Then the chief said, let us pray. Tiamba kupemphera, tipemphera, then to say no. You face everything. Since the PS wakamba to say, we'll go for his head. And Yui said to say, we don't care. Whether you are a chief, either you are the headman, we don't care us. We'll go ahead with his head. That's how they picked me from Minasoko to Skanze. Yeah, Mosai, you can say so because it's not you. But wait, it will come for you. That's when you're going to believe to say these guys are not up to no good. There is injustice. You see, because because you're a praise singer, you're praising them. You can't see any bad about them. You can't see anything bad in them. But you ask even our chief was there. If you think our chief can lie, you go and ask. That's how I was taken to Skanze. From Skanze, there it was a sad story again. It was a sad story. There it wasn't good. But due to time, from Skanze now, I was taken back. I was taken now to Chipata to go and formally be charged. That's how I was charged. When I was charged, we tried everything possible, but everything couldn't work. Until one day, when I was inside there, I wasn't okay that day. They brought medicine, but they couldn't allow me to have access to other health facility. I was only allowed to their non-health facility, which they were getting medicine, bringing inside where I was. Then from there, there's one person. When they brought that medicine, there's this Edward Banda also was sick. And we thank that day, I never had food. So I said, this medicine, I won't take it because I haven't eaten. So they ended up giving Edward Banda. Go there and check. The records are there. Edward Banda was facing Mauritius, was serving 5 years. And Edward Banda was given the medicine which was supposed to be given to me. And that medicine which was supposed to be given to me, when it was given to Edward, just after some hours, he started hallucinating. He was now transferred from inside Namisech to Chipata General Hospital. At the General Hospital, they took him straight to the psychiatric ward. But someone who was just complaining the headache. Edward Banda stayed to that psychiatric ward in Chipata for 2 days. The 3rd day, he went into ICU. The following day, he died. The brother works at ZRI. But all that, they have never even told you. They have never even shared anything. Ask them, where is Edward Banda? And right now, the children for Edward Banda, they are suffering. But them, they are enjoying and saying that we will continue. And one of the person inside there, I thank God, they had to remove the medicine which was in that which they wanted to give me. He had to throw and then put water. That's how it was injected. It was injected into me. And you know, even chikopo cha sarat, mukachosamo sarat, mukaikamo mans, musarako sarat still. So that also went into me. Yeah, you say all those things, you who are saying all those things. Ask even the relative of Edward Banda, where Edward Banda is. He's down 6 feet under. But here, you are saying, oh, this and this, that and that. Ask them why didn't they even share, even in the media, even the human rights. All of them, they are quiet. Even the human rights, when they came in Chipata to see me, some of them are lawyers. But they said to say this case, it can't even stand in court. But what did they say? They said, we can't do anything. From there, I went into operation. Operation, instead of me getting better, it was now worse. And then today, you can be even saying, one day when it's in your shoes, that's when you or when maybe it's in your family, that's when you are going to feel it. But I thank God to say I'm here. After that now, they said, after that operation, I stayed now for almost 3 days. I was not stopping hallucinating. The things were bad. Now I was behaving exactly Edward Banda, the late Edward Banda. The late Edward Banda, the way he was, that's exactly how I was now. And it's only God. From there, since now, this issue, it's still in court. This issue now is still in court. But what came now from there, they said to say no, yeah, efuma kutokera apa pano. Eti munuja shua, even ola jaki mwimbu bebe, angakwanisha kutoka pala palulu ponse pala kwera pansi. Wangakwanisha, can he manage it? Now me, I wasn't able to walk. Check even the people, even everyone who was around on the 4th of August. If in the state where I was, if I was managing even to do anything, but they come and do a propaganda to say no, echoka hapa. Wauje na jaki mwimbu tuone ngataka kwanishe kuchoka pamene pala kuwera pansi. Ve gali bwino ve vosa lwala. Ola yuyu veve ngatanga kwanishe kuchoka pala, olo muntu ngatanga kwanishe kuchoka pala osachoka. But ngevo kuzoja abantu lomba kuona munga abantu wonse mwonala. Munga wonse abantu oganiza limo. So ni pembe. Apa sinsi inkani ili mkoti. But potoka mkoti ni pembe musogoleri. Echechi. Ekamba mti akachite protect the constitution. Yata. He's going to protect the constitution. That's what he said. So I want him to tell the and what they were protecting. And how Edward Banda died. Vana wake uvutika. Edward Banda was the driver for these big buses which goes to South Africa, goes to Botswana, Namibia. That's what Edward Banda was doing. But today he's no more. because of the injustice and because of wanting to take someone's life. I've got children. I'm a parent. I've got I have got also my relatives. I've got also people who are looking up to me. Even them, if it's them who was passing through those things, how could they feel? These are just political jobs. One day, not long from now, it will come to an end. How are they going to feel if their own children or their own relatives, they can go through such a injustice journey? And the government should compensate the family for Edward Banda, because they're the ones who brought that poison. You can say whatever you want to say. No, you stay there. Yes, I'm okay and I'm alive. And now we'll be talking. And if you thought that you buried the seed, but it has been germinated. Edward Banda, the brother, works for ZRA. Him was a driver. Go and check, the details are there. Tuchipata na message, go and check. He died at the hospital, Sparta Hospital. Go and check to the psychiatric ward. He was there at the psychiatric ward after just consuming that medicine. And then we are here doing wait.
I guess he's reading the comments.
Definitely. Now,
no, go on.
Yeah,
so
I think
compensate the family for Edward, because Edward Banda left the children, and he was one of the person who was.
I think we can mute him for a minute. I think there's a lot of coincidences that's happening in his statement and how things happened at that time. Now, the only concrete information is that he knows there's an Edward Banda and he knows that an Edward Banda died. That's why he keeps on emphasizing on go and check Edward Banda, A, B, C, D, and whatnot, because first of all, it was a very short period of time, right? And this is just me thinking. How did he know about Edward Banda driving, working for ZRA, the family, and all that information, if they just met at where he was being held when he was in police custody and at the hospital? So there's so much information that he has about this Edward Banda for a very short period of time. Now, like I said, this story seems to have a lot of coincidences. So he might have genuinely been abducted by unknown individuals. Now, unfortunately, with the way he's narrating his story, he's not really telling us what they wanted him to say. He keeps on talking about, I'm not going to implicate people and whatnot, but what exactly were they trying to get you to say? And we saw that when he was narrating the issue of Tabokawana, Jack Mwimbu talking to him, he kept on telling us that he said no to implicating people. So he's not telling us what exactly he was told to say or told to reveal. Now, if there's anything that's very fishy and sketchy, there for me that is very fishy and sketchy, because that's the first thing that I would say. I was like, hey, this is what these guys were after. They wanted me to implicate A, B, C, and D. This is what they wanted me to say, but I refused to say. But he's
Yeah,
not
because he
really
wants
telling
us to do research on Edward Banda, but we do not really know how the story connects to Edward Banda. How does Edward Banda come in the story, and what's the whole relationship? What's the connection?
his connection with Edward Banda. What he's trying to say is that, remember, he talked about food being brought to him at the hospital by me, a hospital attendant. Then he refused to eat that food and then gave it to Edward Banda. So when Edward Banda consumed that food, Edward Banda, all of a sudden, after a couple of hours, or I think a couple of hours or a day, started hallucinating, and he wasn't well. He said he's not feeling well. Then he was rushed to Chipata General Hospital. Now, at Chipata General Hospital, he's saying that Edward Banda started hallucinating, and then a couple of days later, Edward Banda died. So now he's implying that they were trying to poison him via the food that he refused to eat. So this is the story that he's trying to sell us. And this is why I'm saying that he knows that there was an Edward Banda somewhere and an Edward Banda died. That's why he keeps on emphasizing on an Edward Banda. But there are a lot of loopholes in his story. If he knows that Edward Banda went to the hospital for a headache and then later on died, like he's got too much information for somebody that had experienced a traumatic event and is going through a lot of things to observe that, oh, this is what's happening with this individual, and this individual has gone to the next hospital, and he also has information that he started hallucinating and then died. So that's where, for me, I'm kind of finding a bit fishy, and that's why I said, obviously, Edward Banda is a real character. He's a real individual, and Edward Banda died. And Edward Banda was in the same facility that Emmanuel JJ Banda was in for a period of time, and he's got a bit of some information now. Trying to connect and sell this whole story of they were trying to kill me. That's where now the Edward Banda comes in, and that's why I was saying it's sad. It's hard to believe that in a short period of time he knew Edward Banda works for ZRA. He knew Edward Banda has a family and where the family is, and etc etc. So he's trying to it's like somebody says a lot of things, right? And then there's that one thing that might be true and might have, there's like a real character involved, and they're trying to marry this character with their events. And that's why he keeps on emphasizing on Edward Banda. Go and check Edward Banda. But the most important things are, one, the issue of his abductors. What exactly did they want him to reveal? Because this is what the public is very much interested in. We're not saying reveal that, but we want to know why they were after you and why they wanted you to reveal it. And that's why I said there's a lot of, for me, my own judgment to what he's saying, there's a lot of coincidences. Yes, he might have been abducted because the road that he was using that night is quite a dangerous road, so there might have been some robbery gone wrong that happened there. So maybe some thieves wanted to make a quick buck, and then they realized who they had, and then trying to cover things up. Things just didn't end up well. That's if he was abducted. So then the police found him, and then now there were other stories that came into place of Jack Mwimbu going with 200 officers. Somebody who is, first of all, they were abducted. They claim to have been tortured. Why would you go with 200 police officers when somebody's already in a weak state? Somebody's already in a state where they can't defend themselves. So I'm finding that interesting because it's not logical. You know that there's no reason to go with 200 police officers, and the issue of the chief coming in, the issue of Tabokawana talking about saying we want the head of JJ Banda. These are events that I feel are being blown out of proportion according to what he is telling us, because he keeps on saying he refused to implicate people. What exactly did they want you to implicate these people? Now, if these people are innocent, this is information that you can actually give out to the public so that we know, so that we sympathize with you, so that we understand where this whole situation is coming in. But if you just keep on saying, no, I refuse to implicate people, and then A, B, C, and D, I think it's going to be really hard for JJ to get people to sympathize and get people to believe his story.
All right. Okay. So let's continue reacting to JJ Banda.
Independence is coming, where everyone will be free. Aliwonse akankhale free bwino kuziyendera kuzichitira chinji lomba pano yakuza. Because the country has been divided. You can't say some people that are immunity to commit other offenses. They can commit offenses because they have got immunity. Other people, they can't commit when they commit just to report those things, which means that they have committed offense. Today, you're my brother. Because Honorable Mpundu just said to say those people who have been insulting the former president and who have been committing offense from Northwestern Province, why are you not arresting them? Today, that he should go to Chavuma. Today, he should go to Chavuma. And no, they want youths in leadership. They want youths in leadership. Which youths do they want? Which one do they want? And they are not even ashamed. Because a crime is a crime. When someone commits a crime, you don't arrest the whistleblower.
Going through his comment section.
Yeah, right now we're actually getting real feedback from people. So to other people watching with us live, we are able to see your comments. And this is one of the reasons why we always try to make this platform interactive so that your direct feedback is publicized to the world. So continue dropping those comments and please let us know about the whole story and what you feel about it, because I really feel JJ Banda is really missing an amazing opportunity where he can vindicate himself gain public sympathy, because right now he's just going off on a tangent, and I feel like he should have written everything that he wanted to let the Zambians know, and just basically stick to those talking points, because right now he's really drifting away in all the wrong areas, because there's a lot of questions. How did he escape from hospital? Where is he? What's the real issue behind the genesis of all these triumphant periods that he has experienced? So he's really missing a lot of good points there.
Tell you to say, I've whatever you did to me, ask me forgive.
He's also gone as far as commenting on what is
I've
currently
told
happening
you to say, ask the president.
Yeah, go on.
with his colleague, Honorable Binwell Mpundu, who
Yeah.
we've seen today on social media that apparently he might have a case to answer in Chavuma, and this is in reference to the issue of calling the people of Northwestern Province fools. He did earlier post something on his Facebook page where he is saying that this is propaganda and that this is being blown out of proportion because people are only getting a small part of the video where he used those words, and he was trying to clarify that, he was trying to pinpoint certain individuals that were insulting the former president, and those are the people that he referred to in that video. But then, because of how social media is designed, anybody can run with the narrative of something. So this is what JJ Banda is also trying to talk about, and also in reference to the issue of the Constitution Amendment, where we're talking about inclusivity of youths, women, and persons of disability. We saw JJ Banda questioning President Hakainde Hichilema's his stance on ensuring that he empowers youth, himself, youthful, might not be an exact youth by definition. He says he's passing through, or he has passed through a lot of persecution. So I think
but the thing is, as it stands, did he commit some criminal activities? Does he have court cases that are pending? So him trying to spin it around in relation to Honorable Binwell Mpundu's alleged situation with what he said, referring to the people of Northwestern Province, right? That is absolutely irrelevant with regards to whatever he's going through. And just like I said, right now is not really a good opportunity for him to dive deep into these other issues, because there's a lot of unanswered questions pertaining to him specifically. Him as Emmanuel J. Banda, the former MP of Petauke. You get
Look, I think there is a lot of hate right now because we're getting into election period. Yesterday we did see, if not yesterday, I should have been Saturday, but I think it was yesterday, where we saw President Hakainde Hichilema in Kabwata attending a mobilization event, and the numbers, the raids that were there were huge. So right now, I feel like political parties are getting into gear one of, getting on the battlefield. So it's an issue of now, okay, where can we discredit these people? And that's why now we've seen JJ come in on board, JJ come live and say, well, let me use my story to try and gain some sympathy, and then also try and attack the UPND government in these areas, looking at what is happening in Zambia currently, because I feel like his issue was a starting point, but he's failed to clearly clarify on a lot of things that the Zambian people are asking, and the questions or the answers that we need for us to actually get on his side. Because right now, I don't think everybody thinks JJ is guilty, did commit whatever he's been accused of committing. But looking at how this is a make or break for him, how he tells his story is very important, and the details of the story very, very important. And I feel like this is where JJ Banda has missed this opportunity, because this has been a very big opportunity. And if you're seeing the numbers on his video keep reducing right now, they're at 8K, they were at 8.1. His highest, I think, was 13 to 14,000 views. But because people are not getting the answers and the closure that they need for them to give an opinion on this matter, people are just signing out now.
Yeah, exactly. He's losing the sympathy vote from Zambians. And we do remember not so long ago, right? JJ Banda was amongst the people who were very notorious during the Patriotic Front era. So it is obviously engraved in most of the Zambians' minds of the history of JJ Banda. Like JJ Banda, we remember how you were acting, and we remember what happened at a police station. We remember all those activities. So this is one of the reasons why people are not easily going to be able to buy into whatever spin narrative he thought he would have on this particular situation, because people are definitely keeping him accountable. They are definitely remembering everything that transpired prior to these trials and tribulations. So this time around, right, they're giving him a benefit of the doubt. Tell us so that we can actually really believe you. Give us something that will help us sympathize with you. And right now he's really doing a bad job, and I really believe that he should have started with the most juiciest parts. How did he escape hospital? What was the whole reasoning behind the abduction, etc? But now it's just all over the place. Anyway, let's continue listening to JJ Banda. And I'm trying to sympathize with him, and I'm trying to understand his story, but right now it's a little bit difficult for us to fall for his narratives.
You can't eliminate everyone. Munir, be careful there. Now also to present so to now wakupase munga benzi pasa Edward Banda, then now utisiye so mupembe monse muli apa tenti mpembelele msaza wasu, uncle wasu, brother wasu. Let's pray for him. I know where he has gone, it's not a good place. And it's not good, it's in hell there. Unless if he just went, like maybe he was from somewhere else. If he was from, if he was a praise singer, he wasn't going to suffer there. Even the people who killed Congo, they are out, all of them now, because they are amongst the praise singers. But if it was not a praise singer, you commit such offense. You can imagine, okay, ushavi into vila la kale, bisi la kale. If you were off na kuusha, why bali ushe bamene ba president ya treason ila, why bali ushe ya Kangombe asoti tiba ibite mosoti, why bali ushe mada ya Galinkombo ila irulingi wakale ipita kale mkoti ya 2013. But voice of wanga vishtelini bakuma pressing. And bakumvali na zoni, they are not ashamed. Where is the massacre every day? Only pa watchdog. Pakoswe. Onkara na president, but chifuata nsoni, we mulesha no saina pa mapepa lomba, we pasandani, we pasamachira. They had to give machira because they knew to say one day it will come. That's why they removed him signing there. Mapenzi singa injustice ili komaje wamtuma Levi na ndalama endo bookinga mahonda au tampeta uke no tutakiopa ngalali ndiye court pamene papalali to say no, I wasn't the one who did this, I wasn't the one who committed this. basi bonse mwamverera bebe ndi koti yawo yoenda chabe ukapasa chabe statement to say I'm not the one, then that's all. But chaninga msimikijeni mweo ni chakuti namwe muna mabana. Even if one day you are not going to be there, just remember to say, what about if my children are going through this? What about if my relatives are going through this? Ngati vana vaso vachita abduct ovapitisha mu matocha muli vonse hivi ase lomba ningamvwetyani azukulu vanu ngati uchita vonse hivi vonse uchita mu vonse hivi amvwetyani. And Zambian people, Mulungu omukonda isiyo. Because vintu vyenzofuna kuti vichitike kupyolera muli seyo passing through us, it never happened, was protected. And I know God will continue protecting him. God will also continue protecting us. Let Taokawana tomorrow have a press briefing and inform the people what they were asking me, the demands which they were putting on the table. Ask them.
So this is a very perfect opportunity for him to clarify and state those things. So him telling Tabokawanu to have a press briefing and then elaborate and talk about all this. Yeah, I think it doesn't really help his case. This is the perfect opportunity for him to spill out everything so that we understand and see at least from his point of view.
Ask them to say what happened, everything, until where I am, because they know. They know everything. And because of time, and because it's emotion, because some of the things, when I remember them, I was getting emotional. So I've challenged Tao Kawana together with the minister, together with the president. Let them tell the people the offense I committed and the demands which they were making. The demands which they were making. I'll give them time so that they tell the people. And Tao Kawana, you have got children. You have gone for my head together with your boss, but I can assure to you, I'm okay. But the God above, who managed to protect me, the Bible says we leave vengeance to God. So we leave everything in the hands of the Almighty God. Ati unataba na imwe ni propaganda hiyo na imwe mungamverele tosa ni kama tu ono Jackie Mwimbu anga jumbe kutoka pasi and why mufuna nikambe na moza ni kudala nti ngani ili mupoti. Naswe na wapasa chansi kutiweka Tao Kawana na wabosi wake wakabwere hapa wakamuzeni vinachitika vonse, because even for me where I am, they know everything. They know the demands which they are putting. They know they killed Edward Banda. They know How Edward Banda died. Go and check there. Chipata and Nisete, the records are there. How he died, and they never even did post-mortem. And you think they are good people?
So that was an interesting part where he talked about the issue being in court and he's not disclosing anything, but then it defeats the purpose. You are an individual that had court cases and you have run away, and you can't come and say the issue is in court, but I'm giving them an opportunity to come and tell them the demands they were telling me, to come and tell them to come and tell the Zambian people about X, A, B, C, and D. So firstly, there's a whole lot of levels of wrong with that statement and with the way that he is conducting his way of bringing out the truth and the light with what was happening to him. And if there is any form of truth to it, I think he's losing us. We want to know more. We want to specifics, and this can easily be a he said, she said situation.
Continue. That's why now to say your time is near. That's why kusorowezi mwaenda mwaba 100 million. Mwaba kusorowezi. Miri si mnaenda Tanzania mwaba 20 million US dollar. Muntu foreign muntu wakuchalo kinango ndia kwero kamba, but imwe maprezi singa mungo kamba no kamba, but kulipe swamu gawira nkoni what sharing aveka. Ni vambili who talk. We have got a lot. Now we are very far away, so we are able to talk now. God has protected us. Ngatumkanga mkamanja lomba to yaye alipafupi hapa no alikuni tilikutali mwana lomba kujumpa nyanja kapena nizingani. Na madimandi yana mwenzofuna huyo muntu ali South Africa alinkale lomba ali bwino mulungu musunga. But you tell the people Kawana, and your boss, you address and tell the people the demands you are making and why even the demands you are making in that abduction. Tell the people. The torture which you are torturing, tell the people. And also tell the people the offense which I committed. Vile voice pamoja kama mapesi ngatuse no ulinawani abo nofuna lino wakamba po mazina because hivyo ni vizwa hapo na lini mchuone sheshe chinso changu ngati mwachuone sheshe chinso muka kambe to say you so pikirija ni mkongo bwata tena kai mwenchito ni kupresinga vaya anu oiba
as he's talking about the
things which they are doing. They're making money.
There's an interesting, as he was talking about the pricing, as he was talking about how, translating it in English, he was saying, we are far, we are far miles and miles away. And he used the term we or TD, he used the term we. So now this marries in with the thought of, is he with why me? Who is we? Who exactly is he with that he's saying we are far and you cannot catch us because we are miles and miles and miles away. So I think he's giving more information than he should without actually without him knowingly or intending to give more information. And for people like me who kind of read a lot into the situation and try to analyze certain things, I think there's a lot that's being said. And the fact that he brought in ECL being in South Africa, living a good life and all that stuff, for example, I don't think the government does not know that former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is in South Africa, but obviously they know his whereabouts. And, these are things now. He's trying to prolong the situation. He's trying to divert from the actual conversation of his case and the bullet points, the interesting parts of his case. His name dropped Dawakawana. His name dropped Jack Mwimbo. His name dropped, the boss of these two. And we can speculate that he's talking about President Hakainde Hichilema. And these are allegations that are very, huge allegations. So I think he would do himself a favor to give us more specific information and like just beat around the bush as he is doing.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of viewers are having the same sentiments that you have alluded to. For example, Michael Nice talks about the fact that there are a lot of unanswered questions. What transpired and where did the abduction take place from? What were the reasons why he went into exile and so on and so forth? So, this is a tricky situation. But anyway, let's continue listening to Emmanuel JJ Banda, the former Petauke independent member of parliament.
At the crime you committed, you are not being a UPND president. Yeah, so tilitonse, yeah, pasen kontiara kunibisha ko bwim no nenankala ngako emotion ni pempe ko tiara pa chanko tilitonse kwa sira ndio bano pempa hapo tiara chanko tilitonse ma comment tiara kwa sira.
Now there you go again. And like I said, the main purpose of this video for me, of his live broadcast for me, is obviously getting to the whole Tonse movement and championing the Tonse agenda and talking about his preferred candidate for 2026. So I don't think it's necessarily for him to vindicate himself. That is just obviously a starting story. But as we get to the end of this video, we're seeing the true intention of this video. We're seeing him talk about, Tonse and generally, giving his thoughts on his preferred candidate and his preferred alliance.
Yeah, but do you think that's a very good strategy for him? Like how much influence is he going to have over Zambian people when they have a lot of questions, pertaining to his innocence, if I can put it that way? Does his voice really matter? And if so, why should Zambians believe in him? Because most of the people that tuned in to watch his live video were obviously looking forward to, him vindicating himself, giving us the actual truth, so that people can have an alternative source of information with regards to his point of view. So him starting to campaign and endorsing the Tonse Alliance or whatever his motive is, I think it's a little bit deceptive, because what's going to happen is, as we proceed, as we continue watching all this unfold, right, a lot of people are going to be tuning in less and less. And just like we earlier alluded to, he had about 13,200 people watching his live view, but right now that number has already slashed. It has dwindled by obviously close to 50% of the people that were interested in his story. So if he prolongs having these antics of derailing the facts and just basically taking us for a spin, right? Eventually, he's going to have like zero voice and zero influence. Already, he's lost his seat in Petauke. Obviously, he's got no existing clout, because people tend to move along. There's obviously a new MP. The alliance and the allegiance of people from Petauke will shift towards different people, and so on and so on and so forth. So, what I'm trying to figure out is, what is the plan? What are you trying to get at? What is the motive? You talked about being emotional, hallucinating, and a whole lot of different stuff. So if you were hallucinating, if you were emotional, how can you recite and narrate all the activities that transpired in a very factual way, so those are the main questions that we have.
And the thing is, with what might be transpiring, what might be happening, or what might be the goal, a lot of people don't like hearing this. A lot of people don't like talking about this. But for me, I think, and this is just my opinion, by the way, I think this is an issue of now targeting regions. His attire, for example, when you look on the screen, he's putting on Ngoni attire, and I don't think that is just a coincidence. So you can tell that there is an agenda that is in motion right now and starting to build up. So the reason why I say regional is, let's look at Petauke, right? Petauke, who won? Tonse Alliance. A Tonse Alliance member won. And I don't even know, the party is not really popular, but it's a part of the Tonse Alliance. The gentleman that is MP is from the Tonse Alliance. So it's a win for his preferred candidate and his preferred alliance group. And one thing that we have to look at is he's pretty much of an influential guy where it comes to where he's coming from, Petauke and those areas. And that's why for me, I feel like the regional, what we're not directly seeing right now is the regional effect. If we look at it in Zambia general, we'll say, well, he doesn't have that much influence, but where he's coming from, how are the numbers there? And the trap that they might try to set in order for it now becoming a regional thing. Can it hold any substance? Does it have the ability to see, regional talks of, oh, this is our guy, we're going to go with this guy, and etc., etc. And I'm trying to choose my words very carefully so that I'm not misquoted. But these are the low-key things that I am seeing going on here, and just reading into the situation, how it's going, because there's a lot that's not being said, but you can see the hints. You can tell by if you've read the whole political scene in Zambia right now. It's very volatile when it comes to the regional space. So is he coming from a region that is important? Yes. Is he coming from a region where the UPND need numbers? Yes. So the biggest challenge for the UPND people is how they're going to get numbers from Petauke, because even after the Petauke member of parliament, JJ, running away, and they still couldn't win that seat. So there's a lot being said in the background that we're not really able to catch right now. But I think going into next year, this is going to turn into something very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And we have definitely witnessed a lot of hints with regards to the narrative. So basically, to all the people that have been following politics here in Zambia, right? When it comes to regionalization, or rather, tribalism talks, this is always the easiest go-to type of narrative when it comes to choosing weapons of divisiveness, if I can put it that way. A lot of people usually come up with the issue of, okay, they've put Ingombe Lede on the the currency notes, and there's a lot of tribalism. It's the usual go-to low blow type of propaganda. And of course, he's a proud Ngoni warrior, and we support him flaunting his attire. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it does send some sort of message to people out there. Some people could feel like, okay, he's being persecuted because he's from this region, etc. And that could be a little bit misleading, because all the trials and tribulations that he's going through has got nothing to do with the fact that he comes from the eastern part of Zambia, but it is what it is. So anyhow, let's continue listening to his explanation.
Answer mailo nikaifune kaniuza answer mailo nikakuja nokuja ti nilomba pano freedom is coming tutola lomba pano vantu wako asitela uku bafunika bazive akuisteni naveve vankhale na strongwood vavote monga ni strongwood mwakuvhotera uku kule mapresinga uku mwakuvhotera sotyala nako kuchani kurwapula kunkhale strongwood kaipo kambati ni ma strongwood wetu so kurwapu kuiste vakavhota mwakuvhotera kuchoma monga ni ma strongwood.
So this is exactly the point that me and Siku were trying to drive at. This is the usual go-to talking point, but Zambians at this particular moment have risen beyond tribalism type of propaganda. It doesn't work. Believe you me, obviously, during the 2021 run up towards the election, right, we experienced, Chimba Kambwidi coming up with a lot of such propaganda and talking points, but it didn't bring them any results, So right now, Zambians have got enough information. They are civilized enough to be able to read in between the line. But of course, there's a few factions of society that would fall for such type of talks, because they are trying to use the narrative of tribalism, regions, etc.
And that's why they have it really wrong, because what the Zambian people are ready to do right now is simple. And this is like no-brainer information. This is leakage to opposition party leaders. The Zambian people right now want to listen to solutions to the current problems that Zambia is facing. We want to know, if we vote you in power, what are your solutions to load shedding? What are your solutions to high cost of living? Because these are the things that Zambians are affecting us. So in this whole video, we haven't heard any solution. Even if, let's say, JJ Banda had intentions of campaigning for the Tonse Alliance, I mean, it would have just been due diligence to tell us what exactly Tonse is coming with in terms of their development agenda. And this is what I feel like a lot of us Zambians are waiting for. And unfortunately, there are very few leaders that are rising to the challenge and telling us what exactly they're going to do. They only keep on saying, oh, by UPND na bafirwa, kurido shading, kuri high cost of living, right now, kurina ma issue yama 20 billion, 8 billion, shani, So I think the conversation right now we need to start hearing from politicians is, what are you going to do for the Zambian people? Now, remember, the reason why people voted for President Hakainde Hichilema is because him and his party members were pretty much telling us some good solutions to the problems that we were facing then. And this is the reason why we voted them into power. So the next people that we're voting into power, if the UPND won't retain this power, obviously is on the basis of, what are you going to do for us to make our lives better, than telling us, oh, this group or that group, or let's be regional. That's not going to work.
Yeah, definitely. It's really overplayed, and it's not just going to work anymore. Maybe a few decades ago, right, that could have worked. In the 1990s, early 2000s, that would have worked. But this time around, right, the citizens, the majority of Zambians really are solution driven. If you give us solutions, if you give us a very good enough proposal with regards to your alternative solutions, then definitely we might buy into whatever you're saying. And this is one of the reasons why even President Hakainde Hichilema is facing a lot of backlash, because people do remember his Excel sheets. They do remember the proposals or the proclamations he was making as far as, load shedding, etc. And people will definitely keep him accountable. So this is one of the reasons why the people who are coming up with these political plays, these political innuendos with regards to gaining public sympathy, they should really rewrite their strategies, because these strategies are no longer going to be working. It's literally not going to work. So come up with better campaign strategies, and then just sort of give us alternative solutions to all the problems that we're facing. That's all we're asking for. A lot of Zambians have intermarried. Everybody's related to each and every tribe. So this tribalism propaganda is not effective. Chishimba Kambwili already failed lamentably with regards to using the issue of tribalism. It doesn't work anymore.
Definitely. And people have gotten smarter and smarter, and especially the youths, because now we know that it's impossible, or if like we know that it's close to impossible for you to be sworn in and then at 14 hours, dola yapo na yaonse padi shingoko. Now we want more practical solutions being told to us, that this is what you expect from us, and this is what we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to do it. And hey, we've got the internet, we're going to research, we're going to Google, we're going to chat GBT, AI, and ask questions, and we're going to know if what you're trying to do is sell us a lot of BS, or you actually have got something. And that's why I feel 2026 is going to be very interesting, because a lot of people are going to start asking the right questions, and a lot of politicians are not going to give us the proper answers. I've always asked this question of late. I've been asking myself the issue of alliances. I feel like issues of alliances are killing political parties, and the reason why they're killing political parties is because each political party has a manifesto and an agenda. Now, if you come as an alliance, which of those alliance members' manifesto or agenda are you going to sell to the people? Because now what happens is, okay, well, you're going to go into power, and then now there's going to be a conflict of interest, because you're going to realize that of the many members, the alliance members, all of you have got a different message. All of you have got a different way of doing things. So it's really hard. And I feel like the issue of alliances is really killing our democracy, and it's going to rob us from actually voting for the right people. So the example I can give is what happened in Petauke. Like I said, I still don't know what party the gentleman who won the Petauke MP, unless I go to Google and then they tell me that, oh, it's this party, right? And then I don't know that party's manifesto. I don't know what campaign message that party has, So now we're just voting for people based on, oh, he's affiliated to this gentleman, and I love this gentleman and I want him to be president. And that's diluting what we want to do, and the purpose of elections, and the purpose of people selling us their manifestos and campaign agendas.
Yeah, exactly. And I really feel like these alliances are a cheat code with regards to coming back. Let me give you an example. Hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say PF for some reason made an alliance with UPND, and then they sort of win. That means Edgar Lungu is going to come back, and they're going to have relevancy. They're still going to be in power. So the issue of creating alliances is not really in the best interest of citizens, because why are you giving us these people who you are affiliated to? But it wasn't really like our voice for them to be in this particular arena. You get my point? So alliances are really a terrible idea. We do not love it as citizens, because it doesn't really represent how we feel. If we felt so and so political party deserved our voice, we would have practically voted for them without you using your popularity and merging and just forming this gigantic force of power. It really dissolves our power as citizens. So if you want to be a political party that addresses the concerns of citizens, stand on your own two toes and give us your manifesto. If your manifesto is plausible enough, we are definitely going to go for you as a political party. But merging with other political parties just to have bigger and more clout, it's really not a good thing.
It's not
for
the way
us.
forward. And we can also give an example of what happened with the alliances that were made in 2021, right? So we saw alliances coming through from ADD, that's Mr. Charles Milupi, if I'm not mistaken. We saw alliances for Felix, the Minister of Technology, Felix Mutati. He's not a UPND member. He's got his own political party. So what happens in 2026? Do they break away and say, no, okay, we want to stand on our own now? Who's going to vote for them? Who's going to vote for Charles Milupi? Who's going to vote for Felix Mutati? Because now they are considered UPND, and we don't know what their political parties have been doing for the past 5 years. So obviously they've been busy as ministers, no time to properly guide their political parties, create structures, have campaign mobilization, and etc., etc. Hence, those parties are dead and are just on paper. So it's a sure way of killing political parties.
Yeah, for sure. So let's continue watching
But
Jimmy Banda.
I don't know, even the minister can even go on ZNBC to start saying, no, corruption will go for them. But Mwabamu Kandala Marigali. You have been sharing with Njala. My country, and it's me who said it in parliament to say, let's declare a disaster. Want to donate $20 million to say it handize relief food. Viriku weiva zonse ndalama. Wagula mang'ombe kwa wapoka na wabruru wao mafamu. Ungakambe tu sasa nilipamene hapo nigonke kanzi pamene hapo patili pafupi. Yeah, so chankoni tilitonse mcomment tela tilitonse ndeka good night. Tilitonse one day you'll be a president of this nation. Kaira palomba tazophunzira chizungu chitali nikuza na degree. Time yanu nikuza nchitikatula independence nikuza na degree na masters. Masters nishinatola yonse masters. Nishilomba nukamba na chizungu na degree liomba nilinayo basi ya nishinikakangi wede pa. Nishikwasira nilikuya pamepa. And mkaona history bonse bepita mu that's why ipurumusha eziva to say chani purumushira oziva yeka kimwatilili kusogoro kwako. Ungatukane wema ofuno tukanira batiseo tikutukwa nilini se tutukwa nali niseo tela tilitonse kutititole independence tilitonse kwasira tilitonse kutititole independence mwenzo kama TPF muli corruption muli PF yonse lo MMD solo wenzi ishotapo 100 million isoteshapo 100 million but lero lomba muli ma angels ma 100 million ya mboso $20 million and the $20 million iliyochoke mkama mwa Zambia yachoka kwa mimi kwenzi choka ndalama tulo wenzona munga kulapaza choka ndalama kapasa tia hapo ngerini kutwaone izi ndalama ziselenza chinji bekonga wazungu wakatola ndalama bakakupasa ndalama bokonga zona ngati ufuna upereke ufuna kugule ng'ombe so bapeza kutumwa gula ng'ombe so amoja ndi wejani roma ndalama hizi ng'ombe hizi zemwe gula bakupasa ni ndalama utinzalirifu zokula vakulya vabandu mweyolomba mukioda ng'ombe soti kwa Amerika pamene kula nozileta muno azungu azuona so izi ndalama ndiye zaso vaoda ng'ombe kuti vatwaleo opouja vandu vazungu atosa ndalama za mahala mwenu kuti cash for work muvaselenzesha vandu kwapasa ukapolo koma azungu akamba ti ukapolo yayi osa pasa ukapolo yayi tiye tichite chanyichi basi mwachita tilitonse uiwona wa presinga tilitonse apa mamene yendera then ungamba tiya independence sikizatenge
Okay, so basically what I'm getting from this whole live stream of his is he's basically here to promote to the Tonse Alliance. He clearly missed a great opportunity for him to vindicate himself. And honestly speaking, since he's already in exile and he's already seeking asylum, allegedly, he doesn't have much to lose. Even if he talks about court related cases, he's already run away. So, what is he going to lose? But I guess he's really more interested in promoting the Tonse Alliance. By the way, Tonse Alliance, as far as the whole Zambia is concerned, it's it's not really well established because there's a lot of unanswered questions. We do not really know who the president of the Tonse Alliance is. We do not really know all those exact details with regards to who's going to finally stand in 2026. So, I mean, getting people riled up and having this opportunity to have 13,200 people watching you on a live video and just basically blowing it all away by going off on a tangent isn't really the smartest strategy ever. So, whoever is, dealing with
Advising them.
JJ Banda, I'm sure he's got affiliates, he's got associates. They really need to rethink and re-strategize. Yes, you
I
could go
think
on.
I think the start of the video was very important of CR1 talking about Plan B, and I think for me this is step one. Maybe not of Plan B, but of a certain plan, because of late we've been seeing Mao Sampa talking about the party, the PF party, being belonging to the former president Edgar Chagwa Lungu and trying to give it back to President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So
And what
obviously
is up with Mao Sampa? Sorry for cutting you off. Because Mao Sampa is a very interesting character. Big shout out to Honorable Mao Sampa. We've met on several occasions, but you always confuse the masses. Mao Sampa is one person who's his strategy always ends up changing. He doesn't have what he stands for. So, backstory. Uh, PF faction led by Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa allegedly had, all the documents under his name. He allegedly had help with the government. He took over PF. Now, of late, he's been talking about how Edgar Lungu, Michael Sata left the Ichpani with Edgar Lungu and so on and so forth. So he's hinting or he's gravitating towards PF going back to Edgar Lungu. So, Mao Sampa, please let us know, where do you stand? What is your plan?
he's hinting the Ichpani going back to Edgar Lungu, and then talking about how the now should be legally known president for Patriotic Front, who is Mr. Chavinga, is being used by the state and is working or allegedly working with the ruling party. So it is quite interesting. So for me, I'm trying to see, like, my head is very it finds a lot of things interesting, so I'm finding a lot of things that might be connected or might not be connected, and it's about to get real right now where it comes to our political state, and there's a lot of people that now are going to come out of the woodworks. There's a lot of things that are going to be said, and the most important thing is we still do not have a clear standing on where the Tonse Alliance stands in terms of their president candidate, because as far as we know, and what the Constitutional Court told us, is that former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu does not qualify to stand as a presidential candidate. Now,
Yeah,
if
but
there is
who else apart from Edgar Lungu would give UPND and other political parties a run for their money? Who else do we have? What's the alternative?
That's the biggest question right now. We don't have we're yet to find an answer. So obviously there are heavy hitters like Socialist Party President Fred Membe, who isn't really doing so bad. He was impressive in the 2021 general elections. He managed to outseat Harry Kalaba, who was a bit of a favorite in terms of coming up as third, but we did see Socialist Party actually do quite well in the 2021 elections, and after that they started winning some elections when it comes to by-elections. So then they kind of like dropped, just the way we saw Harry Kalaba come up with the Democratic Party, and then there was a drop. So the current crop of opposition leaders have not been consistent. But Harry Kalaba, Fred Membe, these are individuals that are really that contenders that people should look forward to or should look out for, because they do have, or they are garnering the numbers, and they are getting some attention. We did see the campaign that was the police did allow Uka to have a rally, and we did see the massive numbers that Harry Kalaba came up with during that
But
campaign.
is Socialist Party affiliated to the Tonse Alliance?
Of late, I think I'm not so sure on that one, but we did see Fred Membe, Given Lubinda, and other opposition political party leaders go on a campaign where it comes to the constitutional amendments. They were having interviews on Hot FM. So would one consider that as an alliance in terms of until 2026 and beyond? I don't know, because was it an alliance for that cause to stop the conversation of the constitutional amendment? I think that is more likely. But where it comes to the 2026 elections, I highly doubt if Fred Membe would accept being in an alliance where he won't be the main presidential candidate. If he's going to be a presidential candidate for the alliance, then I see him doing it. But if not, and I think it makes sense if former President Edgar Lungu won't stand, Fred Membe isn't a bad guy to, he is not that far off to having as a presidential candidate for the Tonse Alliance.
Yeah, and the way that I know Fred Membe, he wouldn't ever, not in this lifetime, ever have an alliance with Tonse or anybody else, because he understands that the proximity of power is very close to him. Let me give you a very good breakdown. So when it comes to Fred Membe and his setup, right, his structure, number one, he's married to the daughter of, Mazoka, Anderson Mazoka, who happens to be the founder of UPND. So clearly, Fred Membe has got a lot of opportunity for him to sort of play the political game without being, destroyed, if I can put it that way, without him being restricted, because he's got that side of his structure where they wouldn't go that far to sort of eliminate him in terms of the political game, because of the affiliation with the daughter to Anderson Mazoka, who happens to be the founder and somebody who's loved in the realm of the UPND structure. So this is one of the reasons why Fred Membe has got a very good chance of becoming popular. I don't really know whether 2026 will be his breakthrough year. I highly doubt it. Maybe perhaps 2031, because it's really a similar structure. UPND, Socialist Party, though masquerading as a different, political party, different philosophies, etc., but the same type of people behind the political structure. So I really think we can transition from UPND to SP. By the way, please do not quote me on this one. This is pure speculation, and this is just my unfiltered opinions.
Definitely. So a lot to look forward to where it comes to the 2026 elections, and I think this is going to be one of the most exciting and intriguing elections, because I feel there is a lot of things that are going to come out that were like people are not expecting. We'll be like yo, and in terms of like who's going to win, and by that I mean there's so much on the line right now. All eyes are on the presidential candidates, right? But I personally think that our eyes should be kept on issues of members of parliament in the constituencies, because now I feel like people are starting to understand that it's not only about the president, it's about the people that work with the president, and these are the people that we actually vote for in these constituencies. And we've seen the president talking about how he has been, how he is disappointed with certain cabinet, with some cabinet ministers who behave, in a way that's unprofessional, sleeping during meetings, etc., etc. And then there is this whole issue of CDF. Basically each constituency has been receiving CDF. Now the members of parliament don't have an excuse to say on why their constituency is not receiving the very much expected development, looking at the high budget that the CDF has. So I think there's going to be a lot of change and shift in terms of members of parliament, both from the opposition as well as from the ruling party. And also, I think 2026 is going to bring a lot of independent candidates into parliament. For example, unless this changes, as far as we know right now, MK Market 2, aka the dopest, freshest name in the game, probably the politics game right now, is going to stand as an independent candidate. And I feel like the young guys now know that it's going to be tricky to stand under a political party, because most political parties don't really have the confidence of the people. So right now, 2026 is going to be like a start of a new page, so we're looking for new leaders that are not tainted, leaders that we do not doubt, leaders that we think they're capable, and leaders that are going to deliver. Now we're shifting from the old guys, the way the likes of the Garing combos, the likes of for example, the Fred members in the opposition. We're going to see new opposition leaders that are going to come with a bang. And by that, we're already seeing Binwe Mpundu aligning himself in that path, and it's going to introduce a new crop of politicians, and it's going to introduce a new way of doing politics. And I'm just excited to be a part of this and just witness what's going to happen in 2026.
Yeah, definitely. And this is one of the reasons why you are supposed to subscribe to Z Corner. Follow us, because we are going to be commenting on this like it was a football match. And everybody's going to have, the capability to give their opinions, because what really matters to us is your feedback. We want to hear your direct feedback in real time, so that the people can know exactly how Zambians feel. Because I really feel Zambians don't really have this one place where they are able to give their unfiltered opinions, where they feel they are being listened to. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of our politicians really take us for granted, because we do not really have like a unified source of information where we can act as one. Let me give you a practical example. The issue of policies. Most of the times, a lot of youths, a lot of citizens in this particular country are neglected due to the fact that the policies that are in place do not really genuinely favor us. So we want to have a platform where we clearly state the truth as it is. We talk about what we want. This is what the youths are talking about. If you are going to empower Zambian citizens with regards to mining, put in these policies that help Zambian citizens take advantage of the minerals. We want specific policies that benefit us directly. We do not want vague stipulations, vague proclamations saying, okay, there's going to be youths who are going to be part of the cabinet, part of the government, etc. We want to find out the truths around it. How many people, how many numbers, what areas, which ministries. We want the specific data to be given to us in black and white. And this is one of the reasons why we are obviously taking 2 hours of your time to give you unfiltered truth. But anyhow, let's continue listening to Emmanuel JJ Banda. Even though my battery is about to run out, I'm sure you guys are seeing the flickering of my battery power there. So yeah, obviously going to lose my footage, and we're about to close. Honestly, this is exhausting.
May God bless you, Hona. Thank you. At Buanjwa, no, let's not talk today. We are mourning, so let's not it kwezeke matempa ngako. Thank you. Tilitonse, we are together, my brother. God bless you. Come back if you are a man. Yes, I'll be back. Independence $2. Ati mwenyewe mwafrika kuliye mwana singa nkale mwafrika trick photographer ni wao wenye.
Okay, so I'm sure my power is down with regards to
Definitely, we
God bless
cannot see you.
Good to see you.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I think JJ is also
Don't
wrapping
say-
up and just looking
don't
at
say-
comments.
don't
And
say- don't
there
say.
was an interesting comment that I
Yeah,
did see
don't
on
say,
our
yachinja
in our
muona
comment
mwana.
section. And the comment was talking about obviously Z Corner has been off in terms of live broadcasts for a minute. So a big shout out to the gentleman that made that post, and he was encouraging us to share information in terms of either video or documentary, the how we run Z Corner in terms of going out doing our live broadcasts, what it takes, and basically run people through the process, and that's information obviously that you can get exclusively by joining our community. Now, I think Muna has got more information on how you can join our community or how you can get in touch with us to find out more information on how you can join our community, and also for exclusive information on what's happening with the people that we do bring in on our platforms. We're going to have those extra nuggets, those ones that are going to be special, that we're going to be sharing in our community. So it's exciting times coming ahead, and this is information that you definitely need to get.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're about to wrap it up because JJ Banda is not really saying much.
By independence, mukati hagine next year. Kukale romba ni independence. And independence ikale instead ya October tukonkana ma independence ya vile. First independence na second independence. First independence ni 24 October. Second independence romba ikankale mu September. Mu Heroes Stadium. In fact, not September, 13th August, ndiye yotola independence. Ndiye but aliwonse akasayine pa voters card to say we have gotten our independence. Numbers 23 verses 19. Livingston Diliton said, thanks very much, Livingston. Tizi kulibe vachitikako Livingston, kulibe vanevanga sontho. Even airport yanevenzotukana hiyo.
Yeah, I think this is where we pretty much end the show. I know you cannot see me right now, but believe you me, I'm really here. So, Siku, do the honors, close the show, let the people know when we are going to be back, etc.
So definitely we're going to be back tomorrow to ensure that we do have these conversations. Now, remember, these are conversations that we need to have as a people and as young people as we get to 2026. So basically, we'll be analyzing what's happening in Zambia, talk of current affairs, entertainment. Unfortunately, today we did have a breaking news item, which is JJ Banda going live. And we, definitely did our due diligence and hopped on it, ensuring that you do have first-hand information. So that led us not to give out some entertainment information, but make sure that you do catch us tomorrow 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And you'll be able to get more conversations. Now remember, we're doing this every day, so you can tell everybody that you know, everybody that's on Facebook, to like, subscribe, and share our Facebook page. And when we are on, we are live, you should share to every group, and ensure that you do leave a comment in the comment section, because people are going to be seeing your comments, real-time comments, and you be a part of the show. You can also take part. The phone line will be opened, and you'll be able to also join in the live stream and be part of the conversation. So there's so much that we're giving giving out there's so much information, and be part of the movement of ensuring that we do give out information and just give out analysis of what's happening in our country. So from me, Siku, and Muna, until next time, which is tomorrow, have a good evening and have a good night.